Episode today, but before we even get into that episode, hey Mo, you want to tell the people what you were singing before we hopped on to record?
What that return of the night. Yeah, that turn of the night. Yeah, that joint go crazy. Come on, that's gotta be in the playlist, y'all.
That's cookout music, bro.
That's Mike music. You know he be grilling.
Yeah, I'm on that grill. Like anybody who needs some who needs some glizzies on the grill or some burgers flip, I'm your guy. You know, I'm like that on that grill. You better ask
Mike,
somebody.
I'm gonna keep it a bug with you, bro. I'm not showing up to any of your cookouts unless if I don't hear Return of the Mac, bro, I'm leaving.
Oh yeah, that's we grew up in the black cookouts. That's top 5. That's a top 5 song right there.
I'm leaving, bro.
For sure.
A matter of fact,
all of that.
A matter of fact, that might be number 3. Number 1 for cookout songs has to be Outstanding or Never Too Much. It's a tiebreaker for 1. I don't know.
Okay.
Ooh, this man wanna play some gas.
I'll get the building.
Okay,
I'll get the building.
No. Really, it could be between those two, or how could we forget Frankie Beverly and Mace?
Before I let go?
Before I let go.
Hey, bro, now I'm going to fast forward a little bit, bro. I got to put Candy Rain in there, too, bro.
That's top 5. That's top 5. That's top 5.
I got to put Candy Rain in there, bro.
That's top 5.
I got to.
All valid.
But we do have to get into this game. Last night we had an exciting game between OKC and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, so much transpired last night, but what does Minnesota have to do to win game 2 and bounce back from what happened last night?
I'll probably say first things first, their star needs to score a little bit more. Now, Ant ended the game 15 points. You know, he started the first half great, but, you know, OKC, that second half, they just turned it up, man. They outscored them the second half. And plus, if y'all really watched the game, they held Ant scoreless the fourth quarter. And the turnovers as well. I believe Ant had 4. Julius Randle had a wonderful game. He had 28 points, but he also had 5 turnovers. Yeah. I'm gonna go more on that too. The bench, Dante DiVincenzo, he shot
3 for 11,
14, 3 for 11, 3 for 14 from 3, or no, 3 for 12 from 3, and he only ended the game with 9 points. Naz Reid, he's a big man shooter, but he was bricking as well. So if Minnesota wants to win this series, they gotta really lock in and score, and it has to be that guy and step up. So that's what they gotta do.
I just wanted to add something on to. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna let Mo talk, but I just want to add on that I really honestly agree with you that as far as the turnovers, because if we look at the box score and the count, man, Minnesota turned the ball over way more than OKC. And that's Minnesota had no fast break points at all. That's unacceptable in an NBA game. But I'm gonna talk more about it. Mo, you could go ahead and speak your thoughts.
Well, all y'all got that right. Anthony Edwards has to play better in the fourth quarter. I believe he only had 1 or 2 shots in the fourth quarter, so they were locking him up. I'm not even gonna lie. I had never seen Anthony Edwards get whenever Anthony Edwards is off, usually it's just because he's missing. He couldn't even get a shot up. He got 1 shot up. That was it. That was it. So they got to be able to create some space. And I know it's easier said than done. Oklahoma City has an amazing defense. They got Cason Wallace. They got Shea can play some defense. Jalen Williams can play some defense. They got a whole bunch of Caruso. They got a whole bunch of people that's just the most annoying people to go up against because they're all up inside your body. Pause. Just stealing the ball and stuff. But yeah, they gotta be able to get Ant the ball and get him to score more. Julius Randle, he had a great game. First half, he had 20 points, but he only had 8 points in the second half. He's got to be more consistent. And like y'all said, the turnovers. You cannot let this team get turnovers because if you let this team get turnovers, they're gonna kill you. Because that's what they live on. They live on creating steals, getting in the passing lanes.
And love
if you
that
drive
fast
through
break.
their zone, they're swiping. Everybody's swiping. It's really hard to get the ball up. So they got to limit the turnovers. Obviously, they got to shoot better as well. The bench has to play way better than that. Dante DiVincenzo, he took, and all of his shots that you guys said, all of them were pretty much wide open.
They were wide open.
They were wide open.
All the shots were wide open.
So I don't know. He's got to hit some shots. Naz Reid's got to be way more aggressive than he was, and they also got to stop fouling. Now I understand it's really hard. because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets all the calls imaginable. Bro had 7 free throws in the first 4 minutes of basketball. But you got to understand that they're looking for the call. You can't have that many people in foul trouble. You just can't.
Hey, Mo, I'm going to elaborate on that. And I'm going to go, listen, that wasn't the best officiating game I've seen in a while either. I'm going to put it like that. And I'm going to go on one specific play, bro. And I think both y'all know what you're going to say with SGA. Jaden McDaniels did not foul SGA off that step back, bro.
That was weak. That was weak. That was weak.
A foul.
That was weak, man.
I'm going to just get that out there because I know the fans were concerned about that as well, but I'm not going to lie, but it is playoffs, so Minnesota does have to, adjust and adapt to that, and just be prepared for when SGA is going to try to drive or even shoot because, like y'all said, he's going to foul bait. So they just got to try to just, contest him as much as possible to make sure the refs don't call that.
Hands up. You got to keep your hands up, bro.
Mm-hmm. No contact. No contact. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with. Normally, I don't ever agree with all y'all, but I really do on this one. Y'all hit everything spot on the money. Just to kind of elaborate more on it, I don't know if y'all seen this, but I seen this transpire. Rudy Gobert only had 2 points, and that might not be a stat where we're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Hey. If y'all look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy has been helping them out tremendously throughout these playoffs against the Lakers and the last series against the Warriors. 2 points for him. Yeah, you might not say Rudy's not a scorer, but correct me if I'm wrong. Did y'all not see some plays where Rudy was right under the basket and he just simply didn't put the ball up? I remember one play, Minnesota was on a transition. They was on a fast break. Rudy Gobert gets the ball. He's right under the basket. Hits a nasty Euro. I don't even know what it was and doesn't put the ball up.
He hit 2 nasty Euros last night. I was hoping y'all caught that, bro.
Yeah, I caught that.
Bro. I watched both of them.
I'm saying, man, put the ball up.
Put the ball in the basket, bro.
And Chet wasn't even on him or Hartenstein. So I'm like, that's one thing that Minnesota has to come out in game 2 and do. They have to be a lot more aggressive. Like I hit it on the money. Ant-Man, that's my guy. I love him to death. But he has to, for the whole 4 quarters, he has to play good. It might be because of the ankle. I don't know why. Julius Randle, he played pretty good too, but like you said, Mo, he has to score more in the second half. You can't, when he's playing in the first half, he looked like Michael Jordan out there. Second half, I don't know what he turned into. You have to be consistent.
Julius Randle.
Yeah,
Alex Caruso put him in a box, yo. He had that man on lock.
I agree. I was going to mention that. Alex Caruso, that's another story I'm going to get into, but overall, like I said, they have to shoot better. They have to stop the fouls because that's how OKC scored most of their points. SGA had more free throws than field goals during the whole entire game. That's absolutely reprehensible for me. And just all that, anything else with Minnesota, they have to shoot better from the field. I mean, OKC shot above 50% from 3, and Minnesota shot below 30%. And to your point, Mo, and I was going to mention this to y'all, not just David Chinzo to me, if I was seeing the right game, I think most of them had open threes. They just wasn't going in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Including Mike Conley, too, a veteran player, too. He only had 7 points.
Alexander Walker.
Yeah, man, they all have to score. There's no way that just Julius Randle and Ant-Man can win them the game. The supporting cast got to win. Another thing, Minnesota's bench points. They went 7 for 34, 7 for 36 throughout the game. Your bench has to contribute and score, man. So Minnesota has some touching up and fixing up to do. I hope their coach get into them, and we'll see what happens in game 2.
Hey, man, game 2 is in OKC, man, so I already know Anthony Edwards knows what he got to do. They're not about to go out again the same way they did game 1, so they already know what they're up against, and it's in OKC again. Same arena, same vibe, so they got to really lock in if they really want to pull this off in game 2, and then come game 3 when they got to go to Minnesota, it's going to be a whole different ball game, so we just got to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I got one more question for y'all, though, before we go. Alex Caruso only had 9 points, and I'm not really trying to talk about OKC too much during this because I think this was Minnesota's downfall. If Minnesota would have played how they played in the first half throughout the second half, I think they would have won the game. But Alex Caruso getting 9 points, I think that's so imperative for OKC because now, for what I seen, Alex Caruso put some defense on Julius Randle in that second half.
Mm-hmm.
And the way OKC plays is so spectacular because if y'all notice, they did the same thing with Jokic to the Timberwolves. Jokic was getting double teamed and clocked. That's why they were able to come out, and they did the same thing with Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards. So they're making it tough for Minnesota.
For sure.
For sure.
But do y'all believe that Alex Caruso is a difference for the Thunder?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I only say that because, like you said, he might not be able to score the best, but he will get you defensive stops, and that's important. So and honestly, and he can do that with anybody, any position, guard, center, forward. He's going to lock you up and put some pressure on you. So and I really feel like that's solid for OKC's defensive playing style because Alex Caruso is just a force on defense. So if he's able to keep getting them stops, then the sky's the limit for OKC.
Yeah, no, Caruso is he's a championship level player. Every championship team needs a Caruso on their team. The guy that's going to go out there and do the stuff that nobody really wants to do. Dive on the floor, get the stops, guard big men, just do all the dirty work. So Caruso's been a huge difference maker because if y'all remember, they had Giddey. And Giddey's not playing. He's not playing defense like that.
He's not.
So defense, and like Zay said, you got to be able to get a stop. So Caruso being out there with his veteran experience, going out there guarding whoever you ask him to guard, going to shut them down. He's going to give 100% effort every single time. You can never say you saw Alex Caruso slack off in any game that he's played. And you need players like that to win a championship.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I was going to ask y'all just one more thing. Y'all know what the score was in the paint? OKC outscored them 54-20 in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
That sets a tone for the game. That can in game 2, they need to make a game plan that they cannot score in the paint. And for me, I think that it's hard for Minnesota to do that because on one end, you got to look at their lineups. OKC lineup with Hartenstein and Chet starting, it puts pressure on Rudy because I don't know if y'all noticed this too. Rudy was kind of getting killed yesterday by Chet because Chet can score on the perimeter, and now they need somebody in the paint that can stop that. So if it was my suggestion, I would honestly put Julius Randle on Chet or somebody else, even though it might not be the best. And then I would keep Rudy in the paint or play his own. What would y'all do in that predicament?
Honestly, bro, like to keep it a buck, I feel like because Rudy, honestly, he don't got a bag. Chet got a bag. He can shoot. He can get to the cup. All that at 7 foot. But for me personally, bro, I really feel like I would still keep Rudy on Chet. Just for the body wise as well, bro. Because he has no Diddy, bro, but he's got the size, bro. Chet is still little skinny dude, and I feel like Rudy has got the body to put a stop on him. Now, if Rudy can just stay and keep his hands up, he'll be all right. I feel like he'll be all right.
I disagree with you, bro.
I feel like
he was getting killed
Trust.
yesterday, man.
That's just game 1, bro. We got 3 more games left.
I say why don't they just switch whoever's guarding Hartenstein?
That's what I was saying.
Guard Chet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Put Julius Randle on him.
Yeah, I say that because what you got to think about is Hartenstein's only out there to set screens. So, now granted, that'll mean that he's going to be the screen defender, but I don't know. I'd rather him be the screen defender than let up, wide open threes because he's got to chase back to try and guard it. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus you don't got a threat of a pick and pop with Hartenstein like you do with Chet. So, I would probably switch the matchup. That's the only thing they can do. I feel like he can guard Chet though. I feel like he can guard Chet. He's just got to have know where that space is of when he's closing out to be able to back up and get with Chet to at least contest the shot.
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a downfall for them, but we're going to see it game 2. Now, Minnesota, the biggest problem with Minnesota yesterday that we all know, obviously, they got outscored in the second half, 70-41. So, were we surprised that occurred yesterday?
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. Like,
That's
not at all.
crazy.
Because
That's kind of crazy.
it's really not, bro. Because like, bro, you gotta think about it like this, bro. Regardless of OKC being up or even down by a little, they know how to close out a game, bro. They know how to close out a game, especially in that second half. And the fact of the matter is, they're all like, maybe all besides Isaiah Hartenstein can really shoot the ball. That's where they were having trouble with last night too, bro. That whole second half, they just couldn't defend. Like I said in the last clip, bro, they held like their star players scoreless in the fourth quarter, bro.
No.
And they capitalized off of that.
No, but that
don't surprise me.
Let me rephrase it like this. The way that Minnesota was playing in the first half, you could not assume that they were possibly going to get outscored 70-41 or 70-40, whatever it was, in the second half. The way they were just playing in the first half, because look, OKC was not playing that good. SGA was 2 for 11 in the first half. He scored 20 of his 31 points in the second half. They did not come alive.
They kept the game close though. They kept the game close though.
It was close, but you could not. For me, I could not just say, based off just watching the first quarter, I couldn't say that OKC was going to come out, get on a 10-0 run, and just destroy them.
Bro, the first quarter ended. They were only down 3 in the first quarter. It was 20-23.
Yeah, and they weren't down that much.
They weren't down much at all. Yeah.
Yeah, see, with the Thunder, it didn't shock me for the sole fact that we've seen this before. Like, we've seen the Thunder, have a lackluster first half, come out in the second half, and they're up by 30. Mm-hmm. They're like, historically, even in the regular season, historically, this is one of the best, if not the best offense, like, ever. You know what I'm saying? So, if you have one of the best offenses ever, and on top of that, they have arguably the best defense in the league, you're gonna make, and the fact that they're able to go do these 10-0 runs consistently, like they can do a 10-0 run like 3, 4, maybe 5 times in a single game. So when you're able to do that, it's not shocking when you come out with blowout wins.
It's shocking for me because, like I said, I'm gonna reiterate it. First half, the way Minnesota was playing, they looked like the better team, and really OKC was not playing to their full potential until the second half. Now I understand what you're saying, Mo, because there is many instances where OKC has done that, and like you said, they've had the largest point differential in the league in the NBA and NBA history. They have killed almost every team in the regular season, not taking nothing away from them. But I did not expect for SGA. Well, I can't even say that. He got to a free throw line 11 times. I think that's part of the reason why they opened up the lead like that in the second half.
Yeah, bro. Plus wasn't it like 20 of his 31 points from the second half?
Second half.
Like just because he wasn't really producing in the first half, like that don't mean he wasn't gonna like outshine in the second half, bro. It showed yesterday, bro. Like, they're a good closeout squad.
So let me ask y'all this then. If the Minnesota Timberwolves came out and Julius Randle was knocking down his shots and Ant-Man was hitting his shots, we would still be saying the same answer?
But that depends, bro, because OKC, everybody was, hitting their shots. Are we just talking about Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, like the whole Minnesota starting 5?
I mean,
or just those two in general?
To show up to play.
OKC still would have won.
Yeah, okay, still because they had their whole starting 5 hot, bro. We can't have just 2 players going crazy, and then the other team and then the other half of the team plus the bench not doing nothing. Like the whole team got to score.
On top of that, they were taking the more efficient shots. OKC only took 21 threes last night. They only took 21 threes, so that means that they were going inside the 3-point line and get it, and basically just owning them. Like you said, the paint differential was crazy.
Yeah, because Rudy was getting switched every time.
Shots. They were taking the more effective shots. They were making more shots. I think even if Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards were playing as well, I don't think, because they had to come out the game at some point. So I think they still would have won. Maybe not by as much, but they still would have beat them by at least 10. At least.
For me, I'm
Now
not
to
gonna
answer
say,
your question, go ahead, Mike. Go
I'm
ahead.
not
Go
even
ahead.
gonna say that because if we put it into a different predicament, if the Minnesota Timberwolves, if their bench was actually producing and playing well, I can't say that they would have got outscored in the second half like that. I can't say that.
But we can't be living on hypotheticals though. Like if they were able to do that, maybe, but at the same time, if OKC shot more threes, they would hit more threes. If Minnesota did this, we could just keep playing that if game. What happened was they couldn't do it. OKC, is OKC for a reason. And they were at home. That's another reason. You asked why I'm not shocked. They were at home. OKC at home with that crowd, they've always been like, even when KD and them was there, they've always had a different type of playoff atmosphere.
Hey, man, we're going to see in game 2. We're going to see what happens. With Minnesota now being down 0-1, will they be able to beat OKC in game 2?
Of course. And I'm only saying that because they already know what to do. And it's not going to go out like that. We all know Anthony Edwards. If Julius Randle can keep producing and dropping 28 or more points the way he's been doing, but stop turning the ball over, we'll be good. And if the bench can produce, if Dante DiVincenzo can hit his shots, and Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniels as well, they will be fine. And then when they win game 2, they got to take it over to game 3 in Minnesota, and they're going to finish the job over there.
Yeah, I think obviously this is the conference finals, so obviously it's not. I don't see just belt the whole time. So I think Minnesota can win game 2. What they have to do is they gotta control the crowd. They gotta control the environment. They can't let the crowd get into it, because when the crowd get into it, you see the bench start going crazy. You see Jalen Williams screaming. You can't. You don't want that in the game. So they got to do their best, control crowds, and they got to know that OKC more than likely is going to go on a run. And just because they go on a run, don't put your head down and think that the game is over all of a sudden. Because just like how they went on the run, you can go on the run. So because in the second half, it just looked like they went on the run and they were just like we lost, and it just went out. They can't have that. So I do think Minnesota can win game 2. For the same reasons, like Zay said, limited turnovers. Everybody who played bad's got to play better. Everybody needs to show up in order to beat the Thunder.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. Normally don't, but I believe in Ant-Man, and I don't get too nervous when he loses, because when he lost against LA, everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, the Lakers gonna win the series." We seen what happened. They were saying that against the Warriors, even though Steph didn't play. We still seen what happened. So when Ant-Man loses one game right now, I believe that he's going to get his confidence back. He's going to get that swag back, that charisma and personality that we all love and like to enjoy and see. I think that Minnesota, honestly, they don't have to do too much to really win game 2. Like you said, everybody has to show up. This isn't a team that you can't. Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards are the only ones scoring. No, everybody has to shoot good from the field. Naz Reid got to hit. Jay McDaniels got to hit. Alexander Walker got a hit. Everybody has to show up, and if that happens, they will win game 2. And to point out, it's gonna be real scary if Minnesota wins game 2, because the Thunder are gonna have to play them in Minnesota. That's the scary part.
Mike, we know what happens in a playoff game when they come to Minnesota. I think you remember what happened to KD.
All right, bro. We don't gotta mention that, bro.
I think you remember. I think you remember what happened.
That, bro. The Bulls are on the couch.
I think you remember that.
The Bulls are on the couch.
Hey, that's cool.
The Cavs are on the couch.
We've always been on the couch. We've always been on the couch.
I didn't say nothing. See, I was waiting for Mike to do that. I was waiting for Mike to do that. I wasn't even gonna say nothing. As if he's not a Kings fan and a Suns fan.
We rebuilding. We rebuilding. That's all that matters. We rebuilding. Both of our teams are on the couch.
Yeah, but some of us made it further than others. Some of us at least made the playoffs, Mike.
The Kings made the playoffs.
We had 2 chances.
We made the playoffs.
2 chances. We
made the playoffs. It's cool, though. It's cool. But as far as OKC and Minnesota, though, they just gotta stick with the plan, man. I think their coach Chris Finch is gonna get into them, and they're gonna produce. Julius Randle's gonna produce like he has been all playoff series, and Anthony Edwards he can't lose his confidence. He gotta keep shooting the ball. I don't care if he go 8 for 30, 8 for 45. He has to keep shooting that ball. He can't do what he did last game and not shoot it all in the second half. That can't happen for them to win.
He's got to have that Donovan Mitchell in him. 8 for 25.
Nah, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. And, Mike, I hate to bring this up again, but I'm not using you as an example. I'm talking about the energy that Ant brought. So remember when Ant stepped back over KD3 and started talking in his face? Yeah. I need him to do that for SGA against SGA, bro.
I mean, he threw the ball at him.
Hey, it was getting chippy last night too.
I mean, he he threw the ball at him and then helped him up afterwards, bro. Like,
yeah, no, that was crazy. I want to see those two go at it.
I want to see them go at it, bro.
So bad.
Because if you see,
the league needs it. Like,
literally,
we came here for Ant and SGA, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Like, and then y'all know that whenever Ant brings that energy, bro, that's momentum going to the team. So once that momentum is going, it's hard to stop him. So I hope that game 2, Ant brings that energy over to OKC.
One more thing that's really substantial. Rudy Gobert has to not play soft. He has to be aggressive. We can't have Rudy
Mike.
That's just depoy. No. If you're open under that basket, put the ball up, please. Please.
Yeah, bro, you too big. You too big to be kicking it back out, bro. He too big to be doing that.
But I will say there were a lot of times where Rudy Gobert was like guarded by a smaller defender and they just looked at him and just threw it to the other corner. So I do think they got to figure out the happy medium. You know what I'm saying? Because Rudy does get his fair share of mismatches, but they never throw him the ball.
I know they definitely
don't throw him
do
the
that.
ball unless he's wide open. Now, granted, I don't blame him because Rudy Gobert with the ball in his hands and when he's not shooting, it's one of the scariest sights in basketball. Easily, especially if you're on his team, you're like, oh shoot, he's like one of those people you play basketball with where you know he trash, but if he make a shot, you get hyped. Like he gotta, but y'all are right. He gotta take it up strong. He's 7 foot, bro. Like just dunk.
That's
it.
what I'm
like,
saying. Right under the rim.
That's it.
They're gonna foul you. So all he's got to worry about is hitting some free throws and dunking the ball, and obviously playing defense. But offensively. Like, you gotta dunk because there's no way, especially when Hartenstein and Chet are not in the game, there is no way you're not dominating.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying the whole time. He has to dominate. But the only thing is, though, I really don't like to say this guy's right here, you know? Really don't. But Mo was right. SGA is still one of my favorite guys to watch. But what I seen transpire last night, when I closely watched this guy, I was getting annoyed. I was saying, bro, that's a foul? Y'all remember the one play where he, like, purposely fell to the ground, like, forward, and he still made it tough bucket. But it was an and one.
Yeah, in the fourth?
Yes.
Yeah.
He went to the ground, shot it, made it, and got the and one. Yo, with SGA, it's hard not to foul him. Oh, I have a question for y'all. Which one was worse, SGA or James Harden?
James Harden.
I don't know,
I'm not
bro.
gonna think twice about it.
Nah, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Nah, I'm going SGA, bro, because nobody touched him. Nobody was even in his vicinity, bro.
They had to guard James Harden with their hands behind his back.
You gotta do the same thing with SGA when he's pulling up for a mid range.
I mean, yeah, but like James Harden, like he started like Trae Young, he's a foul baiter. Brunson, foul baiter. There was nobody foul baiting like James Harden was foul baiting, like ever, like in the history of the game.
I don't know.
I've never seen the most creative ways to draw fouls, but I think SGA's way of foul baiting, I think it just looks worse because of the way he's flailing his body. Like James Harden flopped, but like a lot of his foul baits, they were like smart. He would like if you like reach, he'll like hook your arm in the middle of him trying to lay the ball up. Like that right there, it's annoying, but it's smart. SGA just that's what is annoying, but I ain't gonna lie, I will have to say Harden was worse at it because like Harden was the OG of doing this.
don't know, man. I see what you're saying now, though, with not with Harden, but for a long time I was debating you and saying, bro, SGA don't really be doing too much. But as I watch the regular season and I'm watching the playoffs, it is annoying. I will admit it's annoying.
It's annoying. He do get buckets though. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like he don't be out here. Like even when he's not foul baiting,
He get his.
that step back, lethal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the foul baiting part of his game. That's what annoys me. Like if he played without the foul bait, oh, he'd be one of my favorite players for sure. For sure.
Now that's a fact, especially like that foul baiting kills me, especially when he's going 1-on-1 against a defender like that. Oh my God, he's gonna size you up and then drive and then pump fake and then throw his body at you and then they're gonna call a foul, bro. Like that's how it is every time.
You know he's gonna do that every time.
There's nothing you can
Like
do.
I want to know,
about
as a defender, how can you stop it? I was just about to say that. How do you stop that, bro? Like
You can't stop it. That's why like he's so dominant because like you either foul him or you don't touch him and give him a good enough look to where he's gonna hit it. So.
Yeah.
You just gotta hope he has a shooting game like he had last night. That's what you gotta hope. 10 for 27. That boy shot October 27th, bro. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Last but not least, who is going to win this series?
Minnesota in 7. Minnesota is winning in 7.
Interesting.
Calling it right now.
You see, I'm stuck because I think both of these teams are really good.
They are.
Like
They are.
my heart says Minnesota, but my mind says Oklahoma City. Like Oklahoma City is really like this is one of the best basketball teams in NBA history that we're watching.
I can agree.
So I just want to say that they'll probably win, but I would love to see Anthony Edwards go to the finals because I want to see Anthony Edwards versus New York because that would create such business for the NBA. The content they'll get out of Anthony Edwards and New York is crazy. So, but I do think OKC is going to win it. They got home court advantage, so I don't see why they don't. But it's probably going to go 7, but I think OKC is going to win it.
Disagree. Emphatically.
You got Minnesota too, bro?
Of course I got Minnesota. Y'all know Ant-Man's my guy.
Of course he do.
I'm never going.
What you got him in though, bro?
I got Minnesota in 7.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to
As
say.
long as we're all in agreement that this is going 7.
Yeah, I'm not going to say nothing preposterous. I'm not going to say this is going to be in 5 or 6. This series is definitely going to go into 7.
Mm-hmm.
This is
because OKC is such a dominant team. Yo.
Yeah,
like we've seen it from the regular season. But they're playing against Minnesota, bro. So it's a different squad.
All I need to solidify my confidence in them is I just need Minnesota to win a game in OKC. If they win a game in OKC, I'm 1,000% sure that they're going to win this series. But if they lose a couple games in OKC, if they lose a couple games in Minnesota, excuse me, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Minnesota has to win at home, and they have to take one in OKC. But I'm rocking with my boy Ant-Man. Timberwolves in 7. Easily. But as we get out, you said what, Mo?
I said easily is crazy.
Look,
nah, we not sleeping on OKC.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping on Mr. Foulbaiter.
No.
Oh, now he's Mr. Foulbaiter.
No, he is not. He's Mr. Foulbaiter.
He's so crazy.
It's a switch up. It is a switch up.
I'm just glad you finally listened to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I told you this back in October. Like I told you, this man is the craziest Foulbaiter I've ever seen. But you know what I'm saying? It's all right. Like I said, this is going to be a great series. OKC. I really don't want y'all to win, but I think y'all are going to win. You know, I want to be with y'all. I want to say Ant's going to win, but, you know, sometimes reality hits, you know.
Hey, bro, Ant's been in this position before, bro, and he got sent home, so he not
Exactly.
Going
Exactly. He got that experience.
That's fair. I'll give y'all that, but it's just that home court advantage. Like Mike said, if game 2 is probably going to be the biggest game of the series.
Yeah, it is.
Gotta win.
Like, biggest game of the series. They have to win that. Because if they don't win it, then my guess about OKC in 7 will change to 6.
Not crazy.
That's not a crazy remark. But I'm confident in Ant-Man that they're gonna win Game 2.
Facts.
The finals that we all want to see. The Indiana Pacers.
Log off.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Literally, don't even finish that sentence, bro.
Get off the computer.
Who is we and all?
who's we?
Like,
We want to
please.
see the Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers versus
You.
Ant-Man and the Timberwolves.
You mean Mike?
That would be so boring. That would be so
Yeah,
boring.
I'm not watching that finals. Mike, you can,
So boring.
you can call and text me how the game is going. I'll be on the PS5. Like, if the finals doesn't say Knicks and Minnesota, I'm not watching it.
Hey, we're gonna see. But is there any remarks though? Anything y'all want to say to the people before we log out of here?
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all know the deal.
Hey, man.
Shoot.
Like he said.
All I gotta say is, you know, shout out the Cavs, man. We should be playing tonight. I'm just saying, like we should be playing tonight.
Nah,
Hey,
I feel
man.
you, bro.
Don't listen to this guy. The Cavs suck. Kings on the rise. Look, Ant-Man, if you see this video, which I know you will, I watch your YouTube all the time. Shout out to him and what he's doing on his YouTube. It's funny. Y'all can't play egregious in the second half ever again. Ever. Minnesota in 7. Like, comment, subscribe, and we out.
Yes, sir. We gotta key up this little ball. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Warriors about to win it today, bro. We ain't messing with the Bills. No, they not, bro.